Okay, so we're going to build the header component. First off, I'm going to go into my components folder and create a new folder within there and name that header, like so. And I'm going to create two files. One is index.js, which has my code inside, and I'm also going to create a styles.js folder, which is where I can put all my styles also. So back in the index.js, I'm going to use my React functional snippets. So if I type in RFCE, it basically builds out a functional component for me. So press tab on that. And this one is going to be called header, like so. And within here, I'm going to render out a H1 that says header, like so. So back into my index.js file, if I import the header, so if I remove my title and import a component named header and close off the header, if I now save, I should have my header component on my index page. Just a quick side note for the command I used, I have the React functional snippets. It's the ES7 React Redux functional snippets here. So going back to my header, I need to have the left section, the middle section, and the right section. So I'm going to create divs for them. But first off, I'm going to create a container. So this is where style component comes into play. Because I've defined a container, I now need to go into my styles and import styled from styled components. Then I want to create a div named container. So if I export const container, which is equal to styled dot div, and then we now put backticks in place where all the CSS would go. For example, if I did a background color of blue and saved and also imported the container from my styles file, so import container, so from the styles, like so. So now I should, if I click save and go back, I should have a blue border with header just above. So now I'm going to build out three divs within my container. So I'm going to delete the header, and within here I'm going to have a logo container first off, which has the logo inside. I'm going to have a menu links container also. Container. And I am going to have a icons container right at the end. Icons container. Now I need to import these from my styles file. So first of all, I'm going to copy them, add them in here. And now I need to go over to my styles file. Same as I've done here, export them like so. So I don't want the background colors blue on these containers, so I'm going to delete them. So I'll just copy these, paste. So everything I put in this style will only apply to the header. So I might have a logo container elsewhere. It's similar to CSS modules where everything is styled for the component. Instead of putting div in the main container, this could also be known as the nav, because everything after the styled is a HTML element. This will also help with the SEO of the website. So now that I've got the logo container, I'm going to import the next image component. So if I go on to the next image docs, so on here, all I need to do is import the image component. So if I type in image like so, I have a auto suggestion of the next image. So if I click on that, I do require the source. So The required props are the source, width, and height. So if I put in the source, which is going to be a string that I have copied. So if I go onto the website, copy the image address like so, and paste it within there. So I've got the logo now. I also need the width. So these will be in pixel values, the width and the height. So I'm going to do the width and height as 150 pixels each. And then I need to also close off the component, the image component like so. So now I have the logo container. I'm now going to input the menu links on here. So what I'm going to do is I've got them already copied out. So I'm going to just paste them in here. And I need the our menu as an A tag. So if I save that now and go back to my component, I now get an error message which says the host name is not configured. So I need to now create a Next.config.js file. The reason this error is because Next.js is quite selective in terms of it wouldn't let any image apply on their websites. So we need to specify and define what images are configured. So if I go into the Next docs and copy this across, so if I go into Next.js, it does give me a next config.js file where I could copy everything across. But in my case, I'm going to create a new next config.js file. So next.config.js, like so. Within there, I'm going to define images. So I need to do a module.export, which is equal to an object. And within the object, I'm going to have images, which within the images, I'm going to have some domains, which contains an array of strings of different websites. But in this case, if I go onto my error, the host name would be this little URL here. So if I input this, and now if I save all, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have to restart my server, and now my images should be allowed onto the web page. Another cool thing about Next Images is it delivers a WebP version. So if I search WebP, image component and optimization. So Next will automatically determine the width and height based on your imported file. So some of the optimizations built into the image component include improved performance, visual stability, faster page downloads, and asset flexibility, which is why we need to define the pre-routes within the next config file, because then it could go to work and implement these features along with other features. Okay, so if I refresh, I should now have the Costa logo on there. Okay, so now I have an error. If I just go back into my next config, and the error is here, so I should have a module.export, and now I save, restart the server again, and now it should all work correctly and the image should load. So if I refresh my page, so I have my image here, and I also have the menu items. I also need to implement the icons. So if I go back into my index, in my icons container, I'm just going to put a p tag of icons for now, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to find icons and import them using Material UI.